Hey there guys, and welcome back to Cybercom Gaming. My name is John and welcome to my top 10 greatest Crash Bandicoot games. So obviously Crash, as a 90s kid, is very special to me. It's actually one of my first PS1 games. I remember getting the original Crash Bandicoot and Fighting Force and playing those games non-stop. I was glued to the screen as a kid, and dude, Crash was not an easy game, but just a lot of fond memories playing that game. And I guess ever since then I've always had this investment in the character, and there's been a lot of good games and there's been a lot of bad Crash games, but I thought for this one I'll just kind of share my own personal experiences with and list down my own top 10 greatest Crash games. So highly subjective. I won't be including the remakes. I'm looking to break those games down and obviously weave them, try and weave that into this particular top 10. But hope you guys enjoy this list. If you do, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's go get it. Crash Bandicoot helped to make the PS1 brand cool. This unofficial mascot was almost as big as Mario at some point, and most 90s kids out there would agree. His legacy still stands even after 26 years. I guess this is why so many of us still feel so invested in this character. Man, I was so happy when he finally made a good comeback, and with the remakes and even Crash 4. But hey, let's get into this list. So kicking this list off and sitting at my number 10, I've got Twinsanity, which actually deep down was a fun game. I ever like the open world concept that got introduced with the freedom to move around the island, different things to do, and just playing through the different stages. I also really liked the idea of teaming up with Cortex, the moves and maneuvers you needed, and appreciated them trying to mix up the formula a bit. But on the flip side, I like that it was at the expense of the story. The urge to make Crash this overly annoying and dumb character, which was kind of off-putting. Also didn't feel the music, so I'm just putting that out there. That shit will get stuck in your head for days or even weeks, so a bit of a word of caution there. But look, all of that aside, I still felt like it wasn't a bad post-Naughty Dog game. Sure, it had issues, but hey, I'm happy to place this one at my number 10. Slipping down to number 9, I wanted to include Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart for the PS2, and it's actually also not a bad game. Majority of the courses were on point. I'm talking deep sea diving out of time and barren ruins. Also, thought the anti-gravity sections changed some things up, and it was actually a creative take. Nitro Kart for the time also had sharp graphics, a somewhat okay adventure mode, some good old split-screen multiplayer, together with a range of attacks and weapons. A solid kart racer, and a title I'm happy to include, my number 9. Crash Bandicoot, a huge adventure, or Crash Bandicoot XS, which stands for extra small in Europe, comes in at my number 8. Now, this game, which was released for the Game Boy Advance, ticked quite a few boxes. Though it served more as a spin-off, multiverse type of game, the story follows our good old friend Dr. New Cortex as he shrinks down Earth with a gadget called the Planetary Minimizer, taunting the mini people of Earth. Coco and Aku together have the idea of building a machine that's going to reverse the effects of the Planetary Minimizer. But it needs crystals to be powered. So yeah, our old mate Crash sets on another quest to gather those crystals to return Earth to its original size. Now look, I love playing the Game Boy Advance, and this was just one of those games you needed to have on the system. Kinda had that Naughty Dog vibes, and even though it lacked a bit of innovation in my opinion, I still have a lot of fond memories playing this game, so yeah. Man, we're down to the 7th spot, and so wanted to include Crash Bash, which in my opinion is an underrated party game, or perhaps just forgotten. Growing up, I used to love playing this game. It really has some cool multiplayer co-op, and at times frustrating, but overall more fun than anything. The game also offered many different levels, items, bonuses, and relics, and 7 different minigames. Your ability to choose the good or bad side, catchy tunes, and a cast of characters to choose from. So yeah, dust that disc off, jump back on that PS1, give this one a shot again, for all time's sake. Making it to number 6, I have included Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex. Now, this is the first Crash game, like in a traditional sense, that Naughty Dog didn't develop, and the first of its kind to make its way on other platforms like GameCube and Xbox. Put it this way, there's more things that I liked about this game versus what I didn't. I mean, it was cool because it had that similar vibes to Crash 3 in a way. Many cool and different levels, a pretty okay story with the elemental masks, and I also really liked the idea of Crunch.
You gotta be kidding. I'll exterminate this field rat in no time.
Yes, the graphics, which was actually on point, but then the loading times. Holy shit, man. Anyway, point is, I still enjoyed playing this game, and it holds a special place in my heart. It's one of my first PlayStation 2 games. Yes, it lacked a bit of innovation, but for me, Traveler's Tale almost got that Crash recipe right. So we're halfway down, and dang, I'm going to put on Crash Team Racing, a classic kart racer, maybe even the best out there. No shade on Mario Kart, but let's get real for a sec. Okay, I've spent countless hours playing this game with friends and family, and always felt like everything about CTR worked. From the adventure mode to the many different weapons, maneuvers, race courses, and the amazing controls. It was considered by many as the last golden Crash entry with that Naughty Dog touch, and it might be hard to argue against, though the remake did an excellent job trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle. CTR had many cool things, from the drifting, skid-based mechanic to the pump-up acceleration from the landing impact, to collecting Wumpa fruits throughout the race course to jack up your overall acceleration. There's just that element of strategy. The roster was also quite expansive for a PS1 game and brought back the majority of fan favorites while also introducing us to new characters. Crash Team Racing is just a game to me that is timeless, it aged well, has substantial replay value, and hell yes, we're still jamming CTR to this day. No regrets. Alright, when Crash 4 It's About Time got announced, and to be honest, I was a bit skeptical. I mean, just given the track record of post-Naughty Dog games, but I changed my perception quite quick. I felt like Toys for Bob really took down some notes on the remakes and managed to deliver a solid sequel that not only felt like it belonged, with the original trilogy, but that it also gained that permission to carry the story and characters forward. This is why I'm happy to place this game on number 4. Now, there's so many things that I liked and appreciated about this game, like the story direction, the added nostalgia with those flashback tapes, the different gameplay mechanics with utilizing the different masks and the powers, just that creativity and that overall challenge. Dude, shout out to Cortex Castle, man. That was a tough stage. Just everything throughout, it felt fleshed out and creatively implemented without being over the top. So all we need now is that new Spyro game tie-in and we're all set. Yes, I'm talking about a multiverse game, so hey, check out some of our ideas in this video, which I'll link up right now, but yep, that would be pretty insane. Guys, we're at our top 3, and yeah, look, I'm placing the original Crash Bandicoot. Yes, I know the controls were a bit clunky and the difficulty was right up there, though I didn't personally mind it too much. I mean, shit. I've died so many times playing the high road, slippery climb, and the lab for some reason, but hey, nothing will take away the nostalgia and awesome memories I have playing this game. It's one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games, and I mean, for the time it was quite a marvel of a 3D platformer, utilizing some clever tactics around the PS1's technical capabilities, gave us diverse and memorable boss encounters and stages, and just made all of us fall in love with Crash. Dude, the original Crash Bandicoot, well, for me, cemented my love for the series, that's for sure. For number 2, I'm adding Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. Now, apart from the fact that this game greatly improved on the first installment, it also introduced us to many of the game series' most iconic villains, such as Tiny Tiger and Dr. Engine. The game also actually gave pretty much all the characters a bit more personality. Look, I really enjoyed playing Crash 2. Everything from the greatly improved gameplay, strong emphasis on pure platforming, to the many different levels, and the soundtrack, especially, the rocket and pack attack theme. Just that overall feel this game had. Also the hidden colored gem levels, the polar bear segments and levels, it just felt like Crash 2 not only improved again, on the gameplay, but it also set a new bar for future 3D platformer games. I'll never forget seeing this game at a kiosk at some random retail store back in SA. It was just that pure excitement seeing another Crash sequel. Just, a lot of cool memories playing this game.
No! You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot!
And ladies and gentlemen, for our number one, might not come as much of a surprise, but it's Crash 3 Warped. Crash 3 was a big deal when it first released, and I still remember watching that review on Cybernet. Man, I used to love Cybernet, but look, it sold extremely well, and it sits as one of my all-time favorite PS1 games. It takes place directly after the events of 2, where Cortex destroyed Space Station, comes tumbling down to Earth, colliding with the temple that frees the evil mask known as Uka Uka, Aku Aku's evil twin brother. Aku Aku, together with Cortex, plan to use the Time Twister machine to go back in time, to go and snatch up all of those crystals and perhaps even take control of time itself. It was actually a pretty cool story concept, to be honest, so yeah, look, Crash and the gang teams up again to try and stop them. The game really shined with its diverse gameplay options, from the diving segments to tracking through the Great Wall of China on a baby tiger playing as Coco, and also just racing away on the highways on a motorcycle, and even flying and fighting your way through on a biplane. The game seemed to have it all. I also really liked the cutscenes that played out before you were fighting the boss, where they seemed to taunt you, which was pretty cool, for the time. The game also further improved on Crash 2's gameplay, adding in different power-ups as you beat different bosses, like getting the double jump, tornado spin, getting a bazooka, and the crash dash. Look, this is a PS1 classic, a near perfect game, and a title I know many of us will continue to hold dear. Alright guys, and that's a wrap on my top 10 greatest Crash Bandicoot games. But what did you guys think? Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Also, let us know in the comments below what your favorite or greatest Crash Bandicoot game is. I would love to interact with you guys below, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support lately. Take care of yourselves, and until next time,